Hi, I'm Brian. One of the things that is often important for our customers to recover when they're moving to a new machine or recovering from data loss is their emails. These days, most email is stored on a server in the cloud, but there are some cases where it's stored locally. Let's talk about how to restore those locally stored emails in Outlook. The first step in restoring your Outlook data is to back up your Outlook data. If we haven't backed it up, we can't restore it. In most cases, what we'll want to back up and restore is either a .pst or a .olm file. These can be in a few different locations, depending on the OS, so you want to determine where they live and make sure that location is in your backup file selection. We have a video called How to Modify Your Backup File Selection. Check that one out if you need those instructions. Once you've got the files in your file selection and they get backed up, the next step is to perform a restore with CrashPlan to put those files back on your computer. Again, we have a video on how to do this titled How to Find and Download Files from CrashPlan. The actual process of restoring is not something we'll cover in this video. When you restore them, make note of where you put them for future reference. Now that you've restored the file, the next step depends on which version of Outlook you're using. I will note that Outlook is not a CrashPlan product and changes in this process may be made by Microsoft at any time without our knowledge. We'll walk through the process as best we can, but if you're having trouble with getting Outlook to recognize your OLM or PST files after they've been restored, you may need to contact Microsoft for assistance. As I mentioned, in most cases nowadays, emails are stored remotely in the cloud, and when you connect Outlook to your account, your emails will automatically appear. It's possible, though, that you've exported historical emails into local files and need to put them back into Outlook. It appears that the current version of Outlook does not support directly interacting with OLM or PST files, but you can do so with the classic version of Outlook. I was able to download Outlook Classic for Windows, and the current version of Outlook for Mac from the App Store allows you to revert to the classic version via the Help menu. Let's walk through how to import your emails on the Windows app. Open your Outlook app, and then click on File in the upper left. In this window, click on Open and Export to view the available options, and then click on Import/Export to bring up the Import and Export wizard. Select Import from another program or file from the list, and then click Next. Choose the option to import an Outlook data file, then click Next again. In the File to Import box, either enter the path to the file we restored earlier, or click on the Browse button and select the file from the file tree. Select whether you would like duplicate emails to overwrite any emails that exist, to create new versions, or to be ignored, and then click Next again. If you put a password on your Outlook data file, enter it now, then click OK. For some reason, I was prompted for my password a second time. If you are, enter your password and then click OK again. A progress bar will appear to show you the progress of importing the data. When it completes, your emails from the Outlook data file will appear in your new email app, and you can interact with them as you choose. Now let's look at how to do this in Outlook for Mac. From the Outlook app, in Classic mode, you'll click on Tools at the top to see the option to import and export. Click on Import to begin the process. In the Import dialog, select the file type that you want to import. If you backed up your emails from a Mac, it's probably an OLM file, and if you backed up from Windows, it's likely a PST. Once you've made your selection, click Continue. Your Mac may prompt you to allow Outlook to access your Documents folder. If the file you're importing is there, you'll need to grant access. Navigate to the location where you've restored your Outlook data file, select it from the list of files, and then click on the Import button to import the data from the file. Once the import is completed, click Finish. You should now see a new item on the left pane within Outlook that says On My Computer. The emails you just imported can be found there. You're good to go. You now know how to import backed up data into Outlook on both Windows and Mac. As I mentioned before, there may be changes to this process as Microsoft updates their software, so if it isn't working, it might be good to check with them. If you run into problems with the backup or restore process, we're more than happy to assist. Our support team is standing by to help.